Hello and welcome everyone, we are back for the Magnificent 4 Cup Season 36. I'm your host Coney, and today we'll be having 4 of the strongest players tallying from the Singapore, Malaysia and Philippines region. And let's see who will be our champion this season. We have multiple time winners, Ginal and Flynn in the house as well. Brown X Coney and Granzee are back in action as well. They participated back in the day, and currently they are back on track again. Really strong players, and we'll see whether the meta actually changes in terms of Flynn, because we do know Flynn is one of those players where he loves to go really quick, try to cleave everybody in time before he gets damaged, right? But nowadays, there's things like the Singzer to counter into a stun, and then Water Gandalf is also one of the best units right now in the game. So here are the brackets for today. In terms of the rules, it's very simple. It's going to be based on playoffs and a best of 5 with the SWC ruling. Hence, there will be a pre-ban phase at the start of the draft, alright? So all these players, rune quality is top notch, and I cannot wait to see what they're gonna dish out for today in terms of dinner, right? So we'll see what kind of strategies that they are gonna be doing later on. And the winner will be receiving the Champions Trophy together with a Volume 1 Fermion SD figurine, together with 500 crystals. The runner-up will receive 500 crystals, and the remaining 2 players will get 300 crystals each as well for the efforts made in this tournament. Alright, so I think honestly, in terms of current meta, we have been seeing a lot of Arashons as well. I think that is also a really good unit to have right now, which is the Wind Lizard kind of thing, right? The Nat 5 variant. So definitely we'll be seeing those kind of units, and hopefully we do get some Oliver counters, things like the Wind Gandalf. So far we haven't seen that unit picked up much, but apparently it's gonna be a really good counter. And also the introduction of the second Awakening units, I believe in the European League that recently happened, right? Most of the players actually went for the 2A Shumar pick. So not really sure that's gonna be Asian meta, but we'll see, okay? Alright, so there's also going to be 2 coupon codes to be provided later on during the stream. So just make sure to grab a drink and some snacks and enjoy the great matches that these 4 players will be entertaining us with, alright? So there's also gonna be the 12-year anniversary events, which is gonna be happening real soon, I believe in the next few days. So make sure to stay tuned for that as well. There's gonna be tons of free gifts, free items for you to just collect in game, and hope that you can summon the units that you really want, alright? So I think one of the main scroll that everybody is looking at is definitely that 12-year legendary scroll. It is an inbuilt blessing with it, alright? So of course there's gonna be 4 stars in it as well, but if you get really lucky, LD Nat 5 will be able to come up from that scroll as well, and also including the blessing. I cannot wait to see Reddit, you know. Everybody will be posting their summons over there, and definitely we'll see a lot of people posting those kind of LD picks, and hopefully it's not double dupes. Alright, so yeah, tons of events that is going to be happening real soon, so make sure to play the game real soon, alright? Just do your daily farming, and yeah, you'll be able to receive all the freebies. And we are able to start our matches real soon. Okay, I think we are gonna be having Brown X, Coney, and Flynn. This will be the first best of 5. So pre-bans will be locked in. So Brown X, Coney going for that Light Twin Angel. Flynn does not want to deal with the Gandalf. So here we go. I think this is gonna be full on additional damage cleave coming out from Flynn. Alright, so Brown X Coney will be getting the first pick here. And what do you actually steal away from Flynn? I think you kind of need to go for one of those LD picks. Okay, Water Twin Angel is kind of decent right now. A little bit easier to land the armor break now with the recent buff that they gave. So Flynn will be going for the Arashon as well as the Laura. Definitely there's gonna be Laura somewhere. So taking the Song Zhang Lao first, and Brown X Coney with this Fire Megumi will be able to disrupt the turn order coming up from Flynn. A very nice pick. Sonya to potentially one-shot somebody as well. So Laura will be picked up right here in the second phase of the draft. And what do we see next? Yeah, Laura is actually really good here, mainly because you're gonna be able to outspeed a Sonya most of the time, and then you can place the defense buff. So Usher to follow through on the side of Flynn. Brown X Coney going a little bit defensive with this Eleanor pick, and following through with that, the Wind Legolas. Okay. There's something we don't see too often, you know. Wind Legolas here. You have single target strips and then AoE damage. Although the normal attack is also RNG based. So going for the Maul right at the end for Flynn, that is a really good pick. The double speed leaders, no point banning out one of those. Arashon has the extra 5%. Is it enough? Is that more on Swift? That is the question. It is, but it's not fast enough. The Water Twin Angel will be moving first here. So going for the armor break onto the Song Zhang Lao. And I think that unit is straight up dead. Look at the amount of damage and getting the stun onto the Maul as well. So Arashon getting the strips. Usher getting stun up here as well. And Eleanor will be able to go for the cleanse. Now there's gonna be another round of stuns here incoming. He has to stun the Usher. That's the only unit he gets it. Alright. So armor break applied. And there's gonna be huge damage right now coming out from this Wind Legolas. Unfortunately, only double hits. And an additional turn from the Usher as well, able to sustain the Arashon a little while longer. So what can you do? Another round of stun. It's not looking too hot for Brown X Coney right now, because if that Wind Legolas goes down, where's the damage output? You're gonna have a lot of troubles trying to bring down the Usher. So there's a good additional turn from the Eleanor, not going for the cleanse though. Very interesting. Because most of the time you're running Eleanor on some sort of high res, you don't really have accuracy. I would have preferred just going for the safer play, trying to heal up your Water Twin Angel, the Ramael and Judaiah. So now, yeah, she's just gonna go down, and with just this unit in the field, ain't no way. With this armor break, the Rampage of Rage, amount of damage is just too much for that pony to handle. So 1-0 victory goes to Flynn. Although I think he got a little bit lucky on the side of Flynn, where the Usher procced out of the stun. I think if that didn't happen, maybe Brown X Coney had a chance. Would have been really close though, because I don't think the Usher dies anyways, so you can still go for the heal and stuff like that next turn. So it is what it is. I think Brown X Coney, no doubt, he wants to kill off the Song Zhang Lao as soon as possible, but you don't really have good follow through to deal against the Usher after that. Alright. So these were the last round pre-bans. Do we see the Arashon getting banned out? I think that heal block and the potential stuns from it just now was just too much, right? So pre-bans are locked in, the Song Zhang Lao and the Ramael and Judaiah. Here we go. First pick will go to Flynn. And it's gonna be a Sierra this time. So, allowing Brown X Coney to take away the Arashon. Very interesting. So Flynn will be just going for 24% speed leads, unless he opts for an Oliver right here. But at the end of the day, Oliver is not really good against the Fire Megumi as well. So it all depends what Flynn wants to do here. Going for the Usher, okay. Okeanos is back in the meta, boys. Especially with Arashon. This combo is actually really strong. Where you have a potential reset, you strip everybody into the AoE stun. Alright, following through with that, the Eleanor once again. So we haven't seen Brown X Coney picking his Light Gojo just yet. Although that unit has been nerfed from the past couple of balance patches. So Flynn, he knows it. He's gonna take advantage of that and just try to sustain with the Gapsu. And maybe his Light Siri? Do we see that? Oh, Arakuni. Okay, very defensive coming up from Flynn right at the end. That are really good picks, alright? So this Indra, although his damage output is still good, but yeah, just gonna be banning it off, right? So no speed leader on the side of Flynn. The Gapsu achieves 50% more HP, but that's about it. The other units won't be benefiting from that. And we'll see whether Brown X Coney will be able to lap Flynn a lot here. So Laura getting the strip, gets the additional turn as well, putting the slow debuff onto the Okeanos and the Fire Megumi. So not able to steal any buffs from the Usher, which is really unfortunate. Now there's gonna be a potential reset here, but opting for the AoE stun. Alright, Eleanor will be able to heal the team up a little bit, cleansing the slow debuff. But whenever you do that, you're giving the Gapsu a lot of attack bar. And that is going to be the main issue here. The Gapsu is the damage dealer. Look at the amount of damage it did towards the Okeanos just with the second skill itself. So heal blocks applied. Eleanor didn't get the stun onto the Rakuni. That's gonna be double turns from it. Not looking too good. Gapsu getting another additional turn. Alright. So no armor break applied this time. Erishon is out of skills as well. So Okeanos is in trouble. Oh boy. Laura doing Laura things right there. Unfortunate. And stealing the defense buff here. But to no avail. Alright, you cannot stop the Usher from moving because there's so many clans. And with this additional turn, this seals the deal onto the Fire Megumi. Last hit, 1 HP, and Eleanor is stunned up as well. A simple poke damage here, this unit goes down. And pretty much this one is in the bag for Flynn. It's going to be a 2-0 lead. And what can Brown X Coney do? Do you bring in your Light Gojo here? Although it's not really good right now, but we'll see whether he can cook up a different type of strategy, alright? So 2-0 victory on the side of Flynn. Do we see Brown X Coney making a comeback here? He needs a reverse sweep, which is really tough, especially when your opponent is the Goliath in the form of Flynn, right? Yeah, tons of 2-3x swift sets all around. The Vio also 2-0x kind of thing here. I think that Laura is like really quick, right? We did see her getting the additional turn. Outspeeding the side of Brown X Coney units with speed lead, by the way. So here, pre-bans, it's gonna be the Light Twin Angel and the Light Pony. I think at this point in time, just change things up. Go for the Singza and Josephine, you know? The team that always works well against all these kind of turn 1 cleave. However, he's stealing away the Laura from Flynn. So what will Flynn do here? Do you go passive? No. With Erishon and Okeanos. Alright, turn 1. Both sides fighting speed right here. So double speed leaders locked in on the side of Coney. And Flynn, you could actually just... Okay. Yeah, the Ragdoll is good. Especially against the 2 light units from Coney. Definitely force ban material, because you're gonna be giving the entire team on Flynn so many attack bar. The Water Gandalf is also really annoying as well. From the looks of things here, you don't really have good amount of damage yet. So do you go for a Song Zhang Lao? Okay, alright, one of those dark units. Sienna is good. And a light Legolas. Leo to slow everybody down. Alright. Yeah, we actually never really seen Flynn pick his Ragdoll, but I can tell you guys his Ragdoll is probably the best rune Ragdoll in the entire game, alright? Top 5 ragdolls in the entire game. I've seen the stats of it. It is actually insane. So it's gonna be a force ban right there, and the Sienna will be removed as well. Alright. So no point going for speed leader. Just opt for the HP and crit rate coming up from Coney. Crit rate 38% means that the Legolas is going to benefit a lot from the passive. So here, Leo getting the pushback. Big damage done. Now, he needs to work onto the water Gandalf. Can he kill it in time though? No stun from the Laura. Really unfortunate. So, Okeanos will be able to go for the reset. And this Ramel and Judaya has to potentially stun here as well. Scatter shot getting the stun only onto the water Gandalf. Oh boy, Okeanos AoE is incoming as well. So armor break applied onto the Water Twin Angel. There's so much damage done. And now with the reflective damage and shield, what are you gonna do about that? No damage at all. And Okeanos is actually critting the water unit, getting additional turn as well to reset the Laura. One unit down. How are you able to sustain your light Legolas? That's gonna be the main unit to stay alive, right? Getting stun up left and right as well. So every time they do the AoE damage, the Gojo taking so much back. Oh wow, the despair into the armor break. Goodbye, light Legolas. And it's a little bit too late for this hollow skill. When your main damage dealer is down, alright? So Gandalf here. Once again, like I said, Water Gandalf is just too strong. Alright, 3-0 clean sweep from Flynn. Congratulations to him. He's gonna be moving onwards to the finals of the Magnificent Four Cup Season 36, hosted by Comtours. And he's gonna be facing either Ginal or my Granzee, alright? So these two players, I think no introduction needed on Ginal. This guy has been playing top tier G3 RTA for the past 36 seasons. I think, yeah, he's really well versed in his drafting. One of the best drafters in the game as well, I say. And Granzee is also back. This guy, back in the day, he was really strong. I think he was in Licious... Oh wait, no. Goat. Yeah, the Goat Guild, right? And after that, kind of took a chill pill, but he's back in action for competitive gameplay, right? So here we go. It's gonna be Ginal up against Granzee. I think these two players have their own type of drafting, where Ginal plays more of counter picking. Not really sure what Granzee is going to do, but we'll see whether he's gonna be opting for those kind of turn 1 lineups, alright? So here we go. The next best of 5 between Granzee and Ginal. After this match, we are going to be having our first coupon code of the night, alright? So make sure to just collect it once it is shown later on the screen. So we're waiting for the pre-bans right now. Okay, there's gonna be a little bit of a pause action right here. And we're back. So what do you actually ban right here? It's gonna be tough, you know? Ginal on one hand, he has tons of turn 2 counter units. Things like Patter. He can also go very aggressive with the likes of Zeratu. I believe Granzee also has that unit, so maybe they're gonna be competing, taking that unit away. So pre-bans. Oh, that's not what we have been seeing really often, you know. Nyx. I think Nyx back in the day when Van Hun was good, he shines really well. Now with the slight nerf on Van Hun where he cannot land his silence really easily, Nyx is not really in that kind of spot where you want to pre-ban first, but we'll see, alright? So Ginal going for the Urshon. Granzee taking the Jaeger. Alright, Jaeger has one of the best win rate actually in the game right now for RTA. Very high picked as well. I think it's the top 3 picked light Nat 5 unit in RTA. Everybody sleeps on this unit, but he's really good, alright? So Ginal will be going for the Fermion as well as Zeratu. Now, what will Granzee do? Do you go another light unit here? Megumi is okay, but it's not really that good against Zeratu, right? Because there's gonna be a 50% chance for you to not strip the immunity. So bringing in the Aya here as well. I don't know about this Aya pick. Alright, because on the side of Ginal, he can just use the Urshon as a normal attack unit, just trying to lay out the armor break. He doesn't need to go for the AoE skills. And the Aya will be deemed useless. So we'll see whether the Aya has any effect in this game later on, with the likes of Daphnis and Irene as well. Everything is single target. Oh boy, I don't know about this. The Aya seems sketchy. And from the looks of things here, I think it's just gonna be a ban onto the Gandalf or the Megumi itself, alright? So we'll see here. Song Zangla right at the end. So potential single target strip. However, the Daphnis burst damage is gonna be so scary. It's like the Sonya Fire version, you know? So you're banning off the Zeratu. Fire Megumi will be banned as well. Speed lead on the side of Ginal. With the extra HP 33%. Can he sustain that Daphnis? We do know Ginal's rune quality is really good. So yeah, we'll see whether he can one-shot a Jaeger or the Song Zhanglao right here. Oh, going for the Aya instead. Very interesting. So Irene, what do? Do you seal off that unit? Not able to apply a lot of resistance on the side of that Aya. So now what do? I think that was actually a slight misplay here. Jaeger's damage goes through the shield. However, he has to attack the threat state unit right now, which is the Irene. So much damage done. I think it was very greedy trying to go for the Aya first. He could have actually potentially just sniped off the Jaeger with Daphnis, right? There was so much damage done already. So a lot easier to land the armor break as well onto damage dealers. But it is what it is. Now shield is up. Aya will be able to get another round of 25% damage here onto the entire team of Ginal. Oh, 50% because of the bioproc. And Irene goes down. And there's no stopping this Jaeger right now. That's why Jaeger has really high win rate. You need to burst it down first. I think that is the play. So Granzee will be taking this 1-0. So one thing here, Ginal a little bit unlucky failing to land the armor break onto the Aya to one-shot it. And he has to, and he's after that forced to use the Irene's third skill on it as well, which also failed. Oh boy, yeah. Lacking accuracy on those units, I guess. So here we go, round 2. Between Ginal and Granzee. So what would the pre-bans be this time? Do you remove the Zeratu? Are you afraid of that if you're Granzee? And if you're Ginal, I think a Jaeger ban makes sense. Oh, he's a little bit more afraid of the Song Zhang Lao instead. So Tiang Lang will be removed as well. Here we go. Is there a steal on the Arashon? Taking his time here for the first pick. Thinking it through. Do I want to go turn 1? I can take the Water Gandalf, but he's going for the Arashon instead. So Ginal is gonna go for it. The Singza and the Sekhmet. Singza is really strong against Arashon. And it's a little bit hard to outspeed a Sekhmet as well. So Granzee will be taking that unit away. Alright, breaking the combination. Now with a Burgil in field, there you go, Josephine. Or some sort of support. Okay, Annabelle makes sense. That's gonna be AoE slow debuff, armor break into the Zeratus nuke. Single target hit. Burgil is one of those units that we don't really see too often after the nerf as well. But he's still a really good unit to have, alright? Because you cannot control his attack bar. He's gonna be gaining tons of turns as well. Good pushback unit. Can land armor break too. So Asher and the Layla right at the end. Yeah, because Burgil 1 strip stun, Layla moves. That combo is deadly too. So I think Granzee is just looking at that fire segment, you know. He's gonna probably ban that one. Unless there's no speed leader on the side of Ginal if the Singza get banned. So this is gonna be tricky. Do you remove the speed lead or segment? That is the question. And if you're Ginal, the Water Gandalf is so annoying. But you need to deal with the full control from Granzee later on if you do that. So Gandalf ban and the segment. Here we go, round 2 of this best of 5. Speed leads on both sides, but definitely Asher will be going first. Or maybe even the Burgil. So can we see this Burgil getting a strip into a stun? So Asher will be able to apply the speed buff if he chooses to do it. Burgil needs to land the strip. Gets the pushback as well. Additional turn. Now he's able to apply potential armor break if he chooses to do it. I guess there's some slight connection issue between one of these players here. Alright, we'll just hold on here. Alright, there's gonna be a pause. Okay, we're back. And now Burgil will be moving. I think there's nothing much he can do here apart from just trying to armor break something. But going for the Zeratu instead. Alright, Erishon with a full strip, getting triple despair stun. Wow. Really good silence onto the Zeratu as well. Wow, 3 buffs, but Zeratu violent proc out of that. So he's able to try to strip one of the speed buff. They didn't get it. Now the Rakan looks scary though. So Massacre incoming. I think Granzee is just gonna go all in onto the Rakan here. No debuff landed from the Layla, which is really rare sight to see, you know. So Layla will have the second skill once again, getting the stun onto the Annabelle. Super important right there. So Annabelle will not be able to go for the cleanse. Rakan getting controlled up as well. And it's looking really hot for Granzee right now. Asher is moving next. The Rakan is gonna go down. 2v4. Xingzhe with the glancing, he's not doing any counter. And Bergyul does not even care about the counter, honestly, because of the passive. He can't get stunned up anyways. Now what do you do here? You cleanse, but you can't even heal up your Xingzhe, which is really unfortunate due to the fact of that beneficial block effect. And it's 2-0 victory on the side of Granzee. So he's playing really well. Good drafting so far. So I think, do you pre-ban if you're Ginal the Water Gandalf? I think that unit is like super annoying. If you pre-ban Water Gandalf, or maybe take it away on your side. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough. Because you're allowing the Bergyul Layla combo. Layla would have been kind of decent there as well if you're Ginal, you know, because Ereshon with the debuffs coming off on Layla as well. So Ginal needs a reverse sweep right here as well. Falling 2-0 towards Granzee. So taking it through. Pre-ban will be the Jaeger and Nyx this time. So this first pick is gonna be really important. If you go for Ereshon, Granzee is definitely looking at the wizard, the water wizard, Gandalf. Really like to see that unit. Doesn't do much, but he provides so much utility, you know. Honestly, it's like he's just standing there in the game, but then every time providing cleanse, getting tons of attack bar, it's just so hard to deal with. Especially with a Josephine together with it. We haven't seen Josephine yet though. So that could be an option for one of these players later on. So Ginal here. First pick will go to him. Yes, we're gonna be having coupon codes as well, boys and girls. So make sure to just watch the entirety of the stream. The first code of the night will be released after this best of 5, and the second code will be after the finals itself. Alright, so Granzee will be going for the Tetsuya and the Asher. Ginal opting for the Ereshon, and what will he follow through with that? Honestly, I think Josephine here is really good. But going for the Tianlang, alright, he has a Tianlang. Because every time Fire Megumi gets the stun, I kinda prefer a Josephine because you're gonna be getting tons of shield for the team. And Josephine being Josephine, we fight it a lot of times in RTA. One proc, you have your passive up again. So, the Hei Gang and Song Zhang Lao. Alright, looking really good for Granzee's draft. What will Ginal do here? Do you go passive? I think it's a little bit too late. Yeah, Song Zhang Lao counters the Josephine now. And there's gonna be a slight pause once again. 5 seconds left for Ginal to pick his 2 remaining units. Potentially his last match of the night, and he's gonna go with a Water Gandalf and a Sagmat. So does Granzee have a really good bruiser kind of thing here? Yeah, unfortunately Jaeger is banned out this time. Jaeger would have been doing wonders over here. 10 seconds. And it's gonna be the Chompong. Alright. So another AoE strip into potential Vio with a full reset. We haven't seen Chumpong for so long. Mainly because nowadays, you know, if you're running Chumpong, you need to pick it right at the end because there's so many good counters against it right now. Things like Jackson, I think with the recent Jackson buff that they gave him, super hard counter towards anybody that pushes the attack bar back. So that is a really nice last pick coming out from Granzee. So what are the bans here coming up from these two players? I believe there's a little bit of a connection issue on both sides. So alright, so bans are locked in. It's the Chumpong and the Sagmat. Now, Asher definitely outspeeds here. Does he have enough juice to kill that Water Gandalf in time though? I think if Water Gandalf gets the cleanse and the shield up, Ginal might have the upper hand because Annabelle will be able to go for the heal as well. So Asher here, going for the speed buff. Tianlang cuts in between potential strips. However, with Hagang in the field, Hagang will be moving. Getting a really big stun onto the Arashon right here. Hagang stripping everybody, no despair stuns, but able to follow through with the summon clouds. Big damage done. And this Asher does hit hard, right? I think the Massacre is going to do around like 5k per hit. Not that much, alright? 3 point something, but still decent. Getting the seal onto the Dark Monkey as well. So trying to bring down the Arashon in time. And he gets it done. Now the problem here is it's not really over yet because Annabelle will be able to go for a cleanse. I think you kind of cleanse here because of the glancing. Yeah, you need to wait a little bit longer for the AoE slow debuff, right? No choice. But now, Tianlang is going to be doing so much work. No sustains yet on the side of Granzee, right? I think Asher has it next turn. So another round additional turns here, able to go for a potential stun. And he gets it onto the Annabelle. Wow. That's crazy work right there. So Monkey now has the opportunity to go for the armor break. Probably onto the Tianlang. You do not want to get revenge. I mean like counter reflective damage. So now Asher will be able to go for the heal once again, trying to sustain the monkey. Dragon Dance. He's trying really hard to bring down the monkey. Oh, do you even do the AoE right here? I don't think so, right? So yeah, Hagang will follow through with the strip. Unfortunately, no strip onto the Annabelle and the Gandalf. I think Monkey here has to just go all in. Yep. He's gonna go for it. AoE stuns. The Tianlang really low on health. Hagang should be able to finish the job. Can he stun that Annabelle though? Okay, opting for the normal attack instead. Monkey with armor break. Oh, big crit. And he's gonna sustain here with the heal coming up from Asher. Annabelle not doing much work. I think the AoE armor break came a little bit too late. The Gandalf is gonna go down soon with this stun into the Massacre. It's 4v1 against the Annabelle. She needs to pop off with some sleep procs, but does not get it. They're just opting for the normal attack here. Annabelle, do you go for the heal? I think it's a little bit too early, right? Yeah, you kind of need to kill up that Asher. I think it's gonna be a really hard climb for Ginal to make a comeback here. With this solo Annabelle, you don't have the third skill for another couple of turns. If you go for the heal now, potential stuns incoming as well. So what will the Annabelle do here? Oh, I think there's a slight technical issue ongoing right now. Alright, boys and girls, don't worry. Just sit back and relax. Once production is up again, we'll see what are the results of that, alright? So from the looks of things, it's not looking too hot for the Annabelle, because at the end of the day, Annabelle needs to go through the Asher first. And Asher is still like really healthy. Unless the Annabelle gets like couple of sleeps on that Asher. Alright, we're back. Oh, everybody is full life. Pretty much GG with this stun as well. Massacre is going to eat up this Annabelle. Last hit. 3-0 victory goes to Granzee. Congratulations to him. He played so well. Honestly, I think in terms of the drafting, Ginal didn't have any answers towards the combinations that Granzee brought up. I think everything was a little bit different, you know? Like, he went for something like a Jaeger draft for the first match, and then he pivoted into Arashon later on. And for the last one, going a little bit speedy with the... I mean, the second match was the Layla comp, right? So very well-rounded draft. Ginal couldn't really pinpoint what he wanted to do. So here is the bracket we have so far. So after the two semi-final matches between Flynn and Brown X Coney, it was a 3-0 victory, clean sweep right there. And on the other side, Granzee also managed to win 3-0 against former champion Ginal. So we're gonna be having the first coupon code of the night. Alright, boys and girls, make sure to collect this one right now. It is be ready for 12YA. Alright, you'll be able to receive 100 energy and 1 mystical scroll. Make sure to collect as many scrolls as you can, because the anniversary events are coming up real soon. And there's also gonna be the new unit, Dr. Plasma. I think most of you guys have seen the first skill, the water skill units already, right? The water variant. It's gonna be a really good counter towards Water Gandalf. So I think a lot of people is gonna try hard to summon that unit out. We don't know what the other colors are gonna do, but I believe all skill ones are nice, alright? I like the skill one itself. So first coupon code of the night, be ready for 12YA, 100 energies and 1 MS. We are gonna be having a short break, so don't go anywhere. And we're back from our short break. So, ladies and gentlemen, we do have the two finalists for the Magnificent Four Cup World Arena Season 36, hosted by Comtours, and it's gonna be Flynn up against Granzee. Alright, so these two players, I'm just gonna show you guys the bracket again. The winner will be able to receive the Champions Trophy together with a Volume 1 Fermion SD figurine, as well as 500 crystals. The runner-up will receive 500 crystals, and the remaining two players, which were Brown X Coney and Ginal, they'll be getting 300 crystals each for the efforts made in this tournament. So it is all to play for right now, and I cannot wait to see what combinations they're gonna be bringing in terms of the draft. So I think Flynn might be a little bit wary of that Jaeger pick. However, for Granzee, he's very comfortable trying to go for turn 1 as well, with the likes of Asher, the things with Bergild and the Layla combination that is also really strong. So far, we haven't really seen things like the She-Ho. I think after the Gandalf, right? She-Ho is not really one of those units that is picked up that often. And also, it's gonna be a really good counter for the Jaeger, because even if you're under the invincibility buff, the damage still just goes through with the Justice, right? So I think probably we won't be able to see that unit today, but hopefully, I think Water Gandalf is gonna make a good comeback here. Really strong turn 2 unit. And I think once those two players are ready, we should be able to hop into the matches real shortly. It's gonna be another set of best of 5 between these two players, and there's also going to be one more coupon code provided later at the end of the stream. So just make sure to sit back and relax and enjoy the entirety of it. Tons of great matches to come, alright? So without further ado, we should be able to start soon. And I think, what are the pre-bans, right? Pre-bans, I think for Flynn, he's gonna be really afraid of those kind of stall unit like Singza, What Gandalf, all these kind of turn 2 comps, because he's definitely gonna follow through with opening Erishon and then with his Laura or even the Light Twin Angel. So far, we haven't seen him pick that one because in the first match when he was up against Coney, Coney pre-banned it twice, which is a little bit unfortunate, so couldn't be able to see that unit shine. Really good kit, honestly, because you can strip into pushback and you provide your whole team attack buff, right? So yeah, I think first match will be starting here. Pre-bans locked in, it's gonna be the Laura and the Jaeger. Very fast pre-bans. And Granzee will be taking the Erishon away. What will Flynn do? Is there option here to go a Tianlang? Probably. Sierra is okay. So Sierra, although you kinda need her to land her bombs, I believe in Japan, right? In Japan server, a lot of their Sierras are on Despair. So even if you don't land the bomb, there's gonna be potential AoE stun from the third skill itself. Gives a little bit more utility, I guess. But then you're also missing out on a couple of procs here and there because Sierra kind of shines with a Vio. One proc, you might have your bomb up again. So Granzee will be actually taking the She-Ho this time with the Layla as well. So Josephine is a really good pick here because there's gonna be tons of stuns from the side of Granzee. So do we see Josephine and a Water Gandalf? Has about 5 seconds left to lock it in. It's gonna be the Aya. Alright. Aya is a force ban right here. I think no way you'll let that unit through because so many debuffs on the side of Granzee. AoE as well. The Aya is going to do so much damage. And what will Granzee do here? Going for the Masha. So big single target nuke as well as this Water Gandalf pick right at the end. Now Flynn. What do you do here? So like Masha is so good. So good against the Sierra and the Sekhmet. And fitting in a Juno at the end. I think current tech on Juno is Vampire. A lot of people are actually transitioning the Despair Revenge Juno into Vampire Nemesis, Vampire Despair, Vampire Revenge kind of thing. With really good stats, right? So we see whether there's gonna be life drain from that unit later on. The Sekhmet and the Water Gandalf removed from the field. So speed leaders on both sides. Definitely She-Ho will be moving first. I don't think any units on the side of Flynn is going to outspeed this one. So can he get the stun onto the Sierra? I think that is gonna be huge. Alter Ego attack. Big damage done. Gets the stun as well. So Josephine will cut in between. Can he provoke this Masha? Oh, he's going for the monkey instead. Gets the additional turn. So now Layla, if she actually stuns here, Josephine is going to get the turn again. So do you want to just normal attack? Actually going for it. Alright, not gonna trigger the Josephine's passive yet. Now bombardment to strip. Getting another round of stun. Layla stun up as well. Can this Masha survive? Doing really good damage onto the Sierra. So Sierra is already last hit. And she's definitely not gonna wake up from that. The Juno is on Despair. Alright. However, Aya is not activating just yet. Okay, finally with the heal block landed. Sierra goes down, but there's gonna be really good damage right now from this Aya. So no additional turn on that unit. With the slow debuff, she's not gonna be moving much though. So beneficial block effect on the Juno. Not able to cleanse that heal block away. Masha getting stunned up once again. Oh, Josephine with the cleanse, the monkey. He did not want to stun it. Oh boy. Kind of backfired right there. So what will Layla do? Oh, that stun once again. So Masha dismounted. The Juno hits so hard, by the way. 2.3k per hit. Oh my. Oh, Masha will be able to do a good damage before she goes down. But everything on the side of Granzee is below 20% health. The monkey does have the third skill. Can he kill the Juno in time? Not enough juice. So Ginal is going to heal up at least 10%. Alright? When this skill comes. Able to survive a little while longer. Now with the Dragon's Breath. Literally everybody 1 HP on the side of Granzee. The Josephine. What will you kill? The Masha goes down. Gets the additional turn. He can strip into the monkey, right? With the second skill here. I think that is the play, but going for the safer option. Killing off the Layla first. Now monkey. 1 stun. And it's pretty much GG. Josephine is going to get the turn into the kill. And with this strip, 1-0 victory goes to Flynn. Alright, I think that one... Aya, right? Aya did all the work. Oh man, Aya and Josephine is so annoying to deal with. As you can see right there, all the stuns that Granzee did literally just soaked up by the cleanse and also the shield. The amount of damage done from Granzee's side wasn't that much. Could have brought down the Sierra very early on, but then after that, you're dealing against that Juno, tons of heals all around. The 25% damage every single time the Aya moves as well. It's just too strong for Granzee to handle. So last round's pre-ban, the Laura and the Jaeger. This time, what would it be? Yes, this final is a best of 5 as well. And there's gonna be one more coupon code after this match itself, alright? After this best of 5. So make sure to just sit back, relax, enjoy the stream. Flynn this time is going to ban off the Aya instead. Okay, very interesting. Granzee, respect ban onto the Sierra as well. First pick goes to Flynn. Arashon pick incoming, I believe. Because if you're banning off the Aya, it means you just want to go turn 1. Kinda cleave everything here. Yeah, I think no brainer. Arashon is really good. And what will Granzee do? Do you pivot right here into turn 2? Jaeger, what with Gandalf kind of thing. You could also try to contest speed with the Asher and the Burgil. Yeah, Tetsuya is nice. Because that's definitely a lot of AoE coming out from Flynn, right? So going for the Tricks. Okay. Yeah, Tricks is good. I think we've been seeing this unit picked up a lot as well in higher level RTA gameplay. So fitting in the Song Zhang Lao there too. This is a very scary job from Flynn. Now what will Granzee do? Angela? Okay, Juno is... I don't know about this Juno pick. Okay, he does have the Nyx with the 1. Alright, Nyx is good. You're gonna deter the amount of debuffs coming out from the side of Flynn. However, Flynn does have the Isis. So Isis with the AoE Oblivion. Definitely, for sure, the first ban right there. Does he have another one? No. It's gonna be the Usher. Imagine he just goes Dark Gojo and Isis at the end, you know? But I think Flynn does not have the Dark Gojo. So Granzee, what will he do here? Very defensive already. Might as well go for one more. One more passive unit. In the form of the Douglas. So technically, Douglas here makes sense because you're banning off the Isis, which applies attack debuff and the Oblivion. I think that is for sure, right? And on the other hand, Flynn needs to kind of ban off that Nyx. or even the Ginal. So a lot of things for Flynn to ban out here. I'm kinda liking Granzee's draft. There's just too many things to ban. So I think there's a slight connection error here, and we'll be able to see the bans locked in real soon. And we can start our second match of this best of 5 between Granzee and Flynn. Yeah, once again, once the code release, right, make sure to collect it as soon as possible. I always remind you viewers to take it as fast as possible because there's gonna be a limited redemption on it. So once it's finished, there won't be any more given, alright? So here we go. What are the bans? I think for sure Granzee is banning off the ISIS. You never let that unit through. But if I'm Flynn, oh my god, I'm gonna have a really hard time like picking what I really want to ban off right here. I think one of the player does not have internet connection, so yeah, just bear with us for a little while longer here, boys and girls. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we should be able to get this rolling soon. And yeah. Okay, Malaysia internet no good. I believe these two players are from Malaysia. Yeah, Granzee and Flynn. So probably one of the players are having slight problems here, which will get sorted out in a bit, alright? So once they are back, we are able to start the second match. But I think in terms of drafting right there, on paper, it should favor Granzee. Theory-wise, practical is another question, right? You never know, a couple of procs here and there might turn the tides. But even with a couple of procs, I guess, it's gonna be tough to bring down the Gandalf. I think Nyx is definitely for sure banned. How do you kill off the Douglas, right? That is the question. So I definitely think it's gonna be leaning on the side of Granzee here for this win. Theory-wise. So here we're just waiting. I think Granzee is having the issue, right? Because I think when we were playing, when he was playing against Ginal, there was also a few times where the connection kind of stuttered a little bit. When it was Flynn against Coney, it was kind of fine. Alright. So once again, guys, later on when the coupon code comes out, hurry up and collect it as soon as possible because there's limited code redemptions for it. I'm not sure how many, but once it's out and once it's collected, finished, there isn't gonna be any more, alright? And also, make sure to stay tuned for the 12-year anniversary events. I believe you can just log into the game, you can read all the events that is going to be coming out in a couple of days, I believe. So I think the big one is definitely, like I said, that 12-year anniversary scroll. The 12-year legendary anniversary scroll. I think that one is nice. It's a very nice touch. It gives everybody an opportunity to potentially get an LD-Net 5 with blessing. And then you never know, maybe your most desired LD-Net 5 suddenly appears over there and you'll be happy for the rest of the year. And also, I do like the new scroll, the other one where you can choose either light or dark. You're gonna reduce like 50%. Personally, I always think dark units are slightly better. Okay, dark units are more aggressive in that sense where there's so many nukers, things like the Dark Megumi, the Zeratu, the Han, Dark Zenitsu, a lot of really strong nukers, alright? So Nyx, like I said, will be banned out, as well as the Isis. We're gonna dive into the second match between Flynn and Granzee for this best of 5. Strip applied onto everybody. Now, Fire Mogimi will be able to cut in between here, potentially stunning the Monkey here. Monkey didn't get an additional turn. So Usher, what do? Do you go all in onto the Douglas? Or do you try to remove the Gandalf? Alright, aiming the Gandalf first. So Armor Break actually applied onto the Douglas. Wow. Now what would Juno do? Juno needs to try to stun somebody here. And he gets it on the most important unit. Now reflective damage shield buff is up. Big nuke from the Douglas itself. And Usher, if he doesn't get a Viaproc here, this game is done and dusted. That is for sure. I don't see a way for Flynn to make a good comeback here if there's no sustains. Because every hit the Douglas does later on is gonna pack a punch. So Monkey, what do? Do you go for the AoE stun right now? It's gonna go for it. And the additional turn from the Gandalf, literally cleansing every single thing. And with this Viaproc, the Usher's seal is fated right there. He's gonna go down 3v4. Juno getting a little bit of heal. 1-1. Yep, Flynn knows it. There's no way to make a comeback. And like I said, theory-wise, for the drafting, Granzee out-drafted that one so hard. He has so many counters towards these kind of turn 1 teams. And that is even without picking a Jaeger, you know? Wow. You know, Jaeger and Bergil is also really good against all this kind of AoE stuff that Flynn loves to go for. And he doesn't even need it. Just go for Douglas, just go for the Juno. The Nyx Force Band too. So yeah, last round pre-bans, Aya and the Sierra. Imagine Granzee just went for Aya too just now. Man, that is rough. So what will the bans be this time? I think it's going to fall back towards the first match. Something like a Laura ban. Laura and a Jaeger. Oh, Aya and what a Gandalf. Alright. So Flynn respect ban on that. He does not want to deal with that unit anymore. Granzee will get first pick. However, do you steal the Arashon away? That is the question. Yeah, I think the Fire Hacker didn't really do much earlier in that fight. Maybe even the Moor might have been slightly better because you can get additional speed lead, normal attack, also applies attack debuff, which could be decent against the Douglas. But hindsight 2020, you never know what other people are bringing. Probably didn't expect the Douglas right at the end. So Granzee will take away the Arashon here. Flynn will opt for the Oliver and a Laura. Okay. Do we see Win Gandalf? Is that a thing here? Or a Jackson? Alright, going for the Segmet and the Song Zhang Lao. So Granzee is gonna fight speed with speed here. I believe he's having a little bit of connection issue. You can see the loading is on him, right? Very interesting. Yeah, hopefully his internet is okay. Alright, we're back. Hopefully. So 10 seconds for Flynn to choose his units. I think Singza, Josephine... Oh wait, no, Josephine not really good here. Singza is okay, but you're probably gonna get stunned up by the Songzang Lao, right? So, what's a monkey? Yeah, I think Granzee's internet is breaking right now. Unfortunate, but hopefully it's stable back soon. Oh, it's gonna be the Wunsa. Alright, we haven't seen Flynn pick that one for quite some time. Oh, it's actually Flynn having the connection issue. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I just saw the message. So yeah, it is what it is. In Malaysia, we live on trees, you know. Alright. Oh boy. Okay, Hey Gang picked up on the side of Granzee. So, do you go for another speed leader in the form of that Singza? I like it a lot. Singza kind of hard counters the Shiho, because there's gonna be a potential counter strip of that invincibility buff, and then you can work on him really easily after that. So now it's gonna be the Nephthys. I guess Nephthys here is okay. Okay, here we go. Alright, bands are locked in. Okay, just a moment here. Let's see what is the problem. Okay. Let's see whether this is better here. Alright. And we have 33% speed leader on both sides. And here we go, third match. Oh, the wounds are really fast. So going for the inhale magic, missing the strip on the Jaeger. So now threat state applied. The monkey can't do much, only able to go for the stun. Now Laura follow throughs with the strips. There's so much damage done, but then you need to keep aiming that Jaeger. Can't do much about that. Now Segment will be able to apply armor breaks if he chooses to do it here. I think that is the way to go, because Jaeger with the Justice can potentially kill off somebody. Alright, so the Woods are actually brought down the Songzang Lao, and Samet will be able to go for the strip. Alright, I think connection is slightly better right now. Okay, here we go. So Erashon here. Do you go for the strip? Alright, try to do as much damage as you can. Laura. Everything very low on the side of Flynn. Everything really low. So gets the reset onto the She-Hulk, but then Jaeger is just gonna eat everybody up alive, right? I think there's no way for a Jaeger to go down here, because with the Justice, definitely for sure one-shotting the She-Hulk. Able to lifesteal a little bit as well with the Vampire, right? The counter, putting a dot onto the face of that Laura. Not enough juice from the Wunsa as well. So Laura will go down towards Dot and Justice to finish off that Wunsa. 2-1 victory goes to Granzee. Alright, I think in terms of connection, we should be better right now. Let me just double check everything. Alright, boys and girls, sorry for the slight hiccup. Apology on that. Okay, I think we are okay. I think we are okay now. Alright. Alright. Yeah. We should be good. Okay. So yeah, Granzee, I think in that match there, the Jaeger was just too strong, right? Literally with the Vampire, just did so much work. The threat state, I think now with the recent buff that they gave Jaeger, it's gonna be a lot easier to get his threat state up. And yeah, Flynn couldn't do much. He was always forced to aim that unit. And it is what it is, alright? So here we go. We should be able to get the 4th match rolling real soon. So sorry about that. There was a slight connection error, either from my end or the production side. I'm not sure. So just gonna be apologizing on behalf of that. Alright, let's go. So 4th match incoming. Granzee is 1 victory away from actually winning this Magnificent 4 Cup. And honestly, he's looking really good because he has so many counters towards all these kind of drafts where Flynn is dishing out. And also when you see when he was fighting against Ginal, right? He didn't have any issues whatsoever. Just a 3-0 sweep. Job done. Go next. Alright. So we should be able to start right now. Waiting for the players to get ready. So winner will be able to receive the Champions Trophy together with a Volume 1 Fermion SD figurine, you know? So it's still all to play for. Alright. Match is starting, I believe. Okay, here we go. Yeah, there was a slight delay here. So, all the units picked up already. Pre-bans on the Sierra and the Nyx. Granzee will go for the Tetsuya, Shiho, Sonya, Bergild, Flynn, locked in 3 water units in the form of the Water Gandalf, Annabelle, and Josephine. I think it's looking a little bit good for Granzee here. The Sonya is gonna be nice. There's gonna be big burst damage. And the last pick, oh my, the Rake. Oh, he didn't go for Rake. So going for the Layla instead. So pre-bans. I think you are forced to ban the Sonya, but with the Shiho Layla combo, oh my. Yeah, you have to ban that Sonya off. And now Flynn, he does not have any speed leads. There's gonna be really good damage from Granzee as well. So can he kill off that Gandalf in time? That is the question. Or do you go for the Annabelle instead? We'll see who the Shiho aims here. Alter Ego attack onto the Laura. So getting the shield. Josephine will cut in between, potentially provoking the Shiho. Going for the Layla instead, I think that was a little bit too greedy because most of the time Josephine does not have high accuracy, especially when you're aiming a unit which is another of your disadvantage attribute, right? So getting the stun onto the Annabelle here gets the additional turn as well. Not able to apply the armor break just yet, and Layla will be able to follow through with potential slows with the second skill. So all the debuff kind of cleansed off from that Water Gandalf. So strong unit. Now what will Layla do? Trying to control the Annabelle. So not able to apply any debuffs on it. She's not gonna benefit from the passive. So Tetsuya here. What can he do? Ooh. It's just so much attack bar that this Gandalf is getting every single time. Look at that, he's back to full. He's moving next because of all the shields. Yeah, 20% is huge, man. So whenever you attack AoE right there, when everybody has shield, 80% attack bar that you just gain for free. Now, Virgil trying to aim the Gandalf right here, placing the armor break. And can he kill it in time though? Josephine does have the passive up and running. So getting double stuns as well due to the Vile proc. Now Tetsuya, do you stun the Laura? Are you going to give shield again? He does. So Virgil also getting provoked twice. It's not looking too good for Granzee right now. Because on one hand, Granzee is going full on control here without any heals. Flynn has tons of support. The Annabelle has not used the heal yet. So once Annabelle moves, I think this game is kind of over, where you can place the slow debuff on the opponent team. You're not gonna shake off from that, honestly, because that's 3 turns. You're gonna be slowed. And Gandalf here is just gonna be cleansing everybody. Josephine, bio-procking again. However, the Josephine does not hit that hard. It's only about 2k plus onto the Shiho. So I think Granzee here, he knows it. He's trying to kill off the Josephine first. It seems like it's the most annoying one so far on the team. So Shiho here, what do you do? Alter Ego attack. And that's really good damage done onto the Josephine, honestly. Annabelle with the slow debuff is not gonna be moving at all. So this is Granzee's opportunity. He did not steal the shield away. Oh, that is so unfortunate. So placing the Brandon gets the additional turn. I think Josephine goes down here. And now Flynn is in trouble. What can this Laura do? We're going for the Toy Knight. Needs to apply the slow debuff, but only onto one. The Burgil resisted it. And it's free reign for this Shiho right now, where you can just try to lay out your stuns. There's not gonna be Josephine shields anymore. Annabelle has to go for the third skill right now. He needs to slow things down. And there's so much damage done. It's not over yet. Granzee could make a really good comeback here. But Flynn still very sustained on all 3 units. So stealing the shield away from the Gandalf. Birgild has to go big here. The Gandalf might actually go down right now. If there's a big crit. Oh, last hit. Laura Bio procs as well into the 3rd skill. The Light Guardian Angel kills off the Birgild, which was actually moving next. However, it's gonna be a trade-off. 1 for 1. Layla goes down though. So it's all up to She-Ho. And I think you got no choice but to kill off the Laura first, right? Because Laura is the one going to strip your monkey later on. But Annabelle does have the cleanse. So I think She-Ho here can just... Oh, I think this is a slight misplay. I think he should have actually saved the 2nd skill because the Annabelle was actually stunned up, right? Oh, but the additional turn to kill off the Annabelle though. And now She-Ho does have the alter ego attack. Not able to stun the Laura, but 1v1. Who wins here? Oh, no stun. Can Laura survive? Oh, get stunned up into the kill. Oh, this was so close. I think, like I said, there was a slight misplay there, but Granzee still managed to pull through. 3-1 victory goes to him. Oh my god. Wow. What a good comeback. I think... Yeah, he could have saved the 2nd skill, the all or nothing, right? Just trying to poke the Laura instead. Try to stun that unit up. You still hide under your invincibility, and then you can follow through with the AoE stun after they wake up into the alter ego attack. But doesn't matter. The Vio proc from that from that Fire Mogumi to kill off the Annabelle was top tier, right? Clutch. That is so clutch right there. So congratulations to my Granzee. He's our winner for the Magnificent 4 Cup World Arena Season 36 hosted by Comtours. Oh boy, he is back. Boys and girls, this guy. So strong. Honestly, I think he played superb. Although he got lucky, right? I think in terms of drafting throughout the whole tournament today, number 1. Okay, I think nobody can draft as well as him today. Alright. No doubt he has tons of counters towards all this turn 1 as well as turn 2. So yeah, kudos to Granzee. We'll be able to release the 2nd code of the night, alright? So before we end today's stream, make sure to collect this one, like I said, as soon as possible because there's limited redemptions on it. It is S36 Champion 1 SU. You'll be able to receive 100,000 mana stones and 1 mystical scrolls. Make sure to do so as soon as possible because there's gonna be a limited code redemptions for it, alright? So S36 Champion 1 SU. Once again, you'll be able to receive 100,000 mana stones and 1 mystical scroll. Alright, so make sure to collect this one right now. And that's all she wrote. That concludes the end of the Magnificent 4 Cup Season 36. Once again, congratulations to our winner, Granzee, and I hope you summoners have a great weekend. Remember to also check out and celebrate all of the 12-year anniversary events coming up real soon, alright? So take care, stay safe everybody. Bye for now.